Hi guys! Happy Thursday! It is Turner Syndrome Thursday. Um, I thought I would hop on live really quick just to kind of touch base on the thing that I wanted to talk about this week. I thought a really quick live would be fun. Um, so I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. We've had a very busy week. If you did not see yesterday's vlog, oh goodness, we have had a full week. And I did more yesterday going into town and taking care of some things. And hi! So, I'll share about that too. Um, Yesterday, actually, I had my very first chiropractor appointment. I'd never been to a chiropractor before, and I went yesterday. Um, and it was amazing. It was so good. So that happened. And then the Mazda needed 4 new tires and front brakes. So I took care of that too. So yeah, it has been a week of catching up on things and maintenance slash self-care, I guess. It's just, I feel like everything that has gotten neglected is now kind of coming up where it's like, okay, time to deal with it. Which is good because I need to. Um, so, as far as Turner syndrome, what I wanted to talk about this week is I've gotten a few questions about talking to teachers about Turner syndrome and the way it impacts you personally, the things about it that make school a struggle. Um, I've talked endlessly about my struggles with math, and really, that was the biggest way it impacted me. Was my struggles with math specifically. I didn't, in general, struggle with much else in school besides that. Any other times that I was maybe off a little in the other stuff, it was more maybe being lazy, not that I couldn't do it. So, I wanted to talk about and maybe share how I handled talking about it with my teachers in school. Um, so first off, I think it can be something to be aware of that you don't want to overwhelm them. Just like with anybody you're telling about it for the first time, there's a lot of details that come along with trying to thoroughly explain everything. Turner syndrome is very versatile, it's very intense information wise. There's a lot of things to think about with it. There's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of variety to it. There's a lot of nuance. So it can be overwhelming to just say, hey, here's everything about me. So I think, oh, you're welcome. I'm glad. Um, Hopefully I have some good things to add to the conversation. Um, I, I think the first step to talking to teachers about it should be explaining you have a condition called Turner syndrome. That is a genetic condition that comes with certain certain struggles with math. Um, and any specifics maybe to do with you. Um, these are just areas of struggle for me. Um, and maybe they can help you figure out ways of trying different things to see what works with you. I feel like this is going to be something that you'll want to ask for it to be a regular check-in thing if it's something that really, really impacts you. Um, while you're trying to figure out what works, what might help, things like that. Um, I definitely don't think this is a one-time conversation at all. I think this needs to be a continual conversation and check-ins and trying new things if what's being done isn't working. Specifically, I think that you should have as an element of the conversation how you learn best. So if what you're struggling with is the math, is the nonverbal learning disorder, all of those things, I think for me, there was a serious difference between ways I was being taught math that deeply impacted my success in that class. And the one class in all of my years in school that I actually got an A in math, I had the best math teacher I've ever gotten. Ever. In my entire time of being in school. The best math teacher I ever had. He just, the way he taught really stuck with me. It really translated for me. And that wasn't standing up at the front with a PowerPoint clicking and saying, absolutely not. Yeah, that's good. I think my mom helped me a lot with trying to figure out what could help me in math. And the other thing was she was also always very persistent with me with like checking in, like, how are you doing with math? And are you making sure if you're feeling like you're struggling, you're getting the help you need to? Like, go talk to your teachers about it if you don't get it. Have them look at it with you. Don't just pass it by and let it go and say, oh, I just don't get it. You know, she was very good about that with me, with making sure I was going and asking for more help if I needed it and not just trying to skate by and pass and not actually get it. She was very much like, are you doing okay with it? Do you need to go get extra help? And making sure I was doing that if I needed to, which is important. Don't feel afraid to. There were many times where I had to ask that math teacher a million times over something, and he would go over with me. He was super patient. He understood, he very quickly got how I learned, and he was able to speak to that really well and break it down for me to how I could understand it in a way that actually communicated it for me. Because just the putting it on the screen doesn't do it for me. I need that on top of me physically doing it and understanding how I'm getting there. And sometimes, especially with more complicated math things, the more advanced math equations and everything, I had to do that several times before I actually had that sunk in, because especially the more advanced you get, the more like obscure the equations get, where there's not as concrete of concepts to grasp onto, and it's more fluid than that. And that's what really would get me, was those more obscure, the more less concrete math concepts, even more so than just plug X into this equation. Um, but somebody asked if I had an IEP. I did not. I never had an IEP. I never had special accommodations. I was actually able to kind of tread water a little bit, that I could just work with it with my teachers. I think if I hadn't been persistent with that, I probably would have needed it. There were things like, I did take geometry over again. And I very much believe that was based off of the style of teaching of the teacher I got the first time I took geometry. He stood up in the front with a PowerPoint, and I'm going, I can't do this. This doesn't help me. So there was that. But I never had anything changed for me. I was just very diligent. I also had, my older brother was a whiz at math, like a genius with math. So anytime he was there and able to help me was amazing. He was able to explain it really well. He was able to go over the problems with me and really help me when it came to math, because he understood. My whole family has always been very understanding over the fact that I suck at math, and it's just not my strong suit. So, I also had that at home too, where he would help me at times, and um, most of my teachers I ever had with math were very understanding of needing some extra help, needing to go over things again, and they really encouraged me to talk to them if I needed to. So I think if I hadn't had that environment, I definitely would have wanted something in place as far as like maybe having a weekly time where I can bring in the homework for the week and talk to them about it. But I never had anything officially in place. Overall, I was able to survive it. It just, there was definitely differences in times where I was thriving in it and where I was not, where it was overly a struggle. Um, so yes, that was one element of it that I think really helped. I had a great math. Oh, it went away. I had a great math teacher in high school. She really understood my disability and was very patient and understanding. So were the rest of my teachers in high school. Yeah, it's great. I think more and more teachers are learning that the education really needs to be super individual. That you have this group of kids and all of them are going to learn in different ways. All of them are coming from different perspectives, and all of them are going to need different support. Um, so that I think is a huge element of setting you up to be successful. Um, so, yes, I think if you are able to make that a conversation, and I mean, it was a constant conversation with my teachers. It was not, like I said, it was not a one time thing where I explained that I struggled and kind of the way I struggled and what I struggled specifically with, and then that was it, and we went off running. Hi, sorry, my phone started ringing. Um, where I told them one time and that was it. We went off running with everything. It was very much okay, this is what I'm gonna be struggling with, and I know this is what I struggle with, and so I'm going to need extra help. I may ask more questions than other students do, because it came down to I needed to ask questions. I needed to be diligent about, if I don't get something, asking further and asking more than once if I needed to, or applying it to more than one equation, or having them do something with me a couple times. Um, it just really took that for me, and yeah. Um, whew, there we go. It reconnected. My phone was blowing up. Somebody's trying to call me. Um, okay. Don't be too shy to talk to them. You have every right to express what you're struggling with, and they will appreciate that information. They want to be able to help you, they want your success, and that information is key to your success and to them being able to help you. They're not going to judge you, they're not going to think less of you. They are going to appreciate you being able to come to them and talk about it. Um, yeah, being able to be your own advocate is something that not only sets you up for like what you're trying to work through right now, but later on as well, when you're fully being your own advocate for everything, for healthcare, for a job, for any of that. Um, Especially when it comes to college, where things are more advanced as far as what they expect from you. Um, yeah, it'll set you up really well if you are able to do that now. Um, I think that would be super important, and it really doesn't have to be scary. Um, I mean, you could keep it general at first and work your way into talking more in depthly with them. I would just, yeah, I would definitely suggest being more a part of the conversations, even if all you're doing is saying what exactly, like the material you're working on at this very moment that's a struggle for you. Even if it's just that, that's huge. They know where you're struggling and they can try to figure out what might help you. Um, so I think that would be very, very important. Um, I've talked a lot